Welcome back to BjjBrick Quick. My name is Byron. This is the podcast we talk about a jiu-jitsu topic for just a little while. Today, I'm going to talk about hitting the mats hydrated. Oh yeah, that's a sexy topic. I think about this sometimes because my wife and I will enjoy hiking or backpacking. And when we're hitting the trail, hydration is an important thing. Either you're carrying the water on your back or you're going to filter it later on. If we're going to do a day hike, 6 or 7 miles or something of that distance, I will hit that trail super hydrated. I will probably need to pee within the opening 30 minutes of the trail. But what I've done is I've taken water that I would have to carry my back and I put it into my body and I'll perform better. It's easier to hike that way. And then I will need less water for the entire trip to haul if I'm hydrated. It's kind of a little trick I've learned. If you know you're going to do something physical and you're going to need to be hydrated, you should start that way. Now, my wife will tell you it's much more annoying for her to start the trail super hydrated than me, just by you have to get rid of the hydration somehow. But it's been a great trick for me. Start hydrated, and then the first hour or so, I really don't need much water. And it obviously depends on the temperature. So coming back to jiu-jitsu, are you cramping up during the rolls? Do you sweat a lot and then slow down on your sweating later on? Like, that's not a good sign. Are you thirsty? They say that just being thirsty is a sign that you're already dehydrated. So if you're getting thirsty between rounds, you probably should be drinking more often between rounds and probably showing up hydrated. If you're at work or kind of busy beforehand, if you could manage to get, I carry a liter Nalgene bottle with me quite a bit. Start drinking that thing. Get that down an hour or two before the mats. And then get a lot of that out of your system before the mats. That way you're not having to take a bunch of breaks. But you will perform better if you're hydrated. Something I've noticed just personally that only happens in the evening classes, and it's only been happening in the past couple of years. It didn't happen when I was younger, or maybe I was more hydrated. But if I have a hard training session, not just a round, but really just maybe a couple extra rounds and having people that really push me, and maybe it's hot or humid and sweat a lot, that in the morning, so that's evening class, the next morning, sometimes I wake up with a headache. And I always attribute that to being dehydrated, not hydrating properly, going to bed, and waking up with a headache. And I could be wrong about what's happening to my body or my headaches, but I know dehydration does cause headaches. And I hate waking up with a headache. You should... That's not a fun way to start the day. And it's hard to hydrate right before bed. I don't want to have to get up in the middle of the night to take care of that either. The best answer for myself is to hit the mats hydrated. I won't have to hydrate a ton when I get home to, not be a raisin when I go to bed and all dehydrated. That will be my best chance at not having a headache the next day. And I don't want to, and I haven't been able to not have like a type of a roll because of a fear in the morning of a headache. I don't think about that. If I'm getting great rolls and I'm working hard and I'm having fun, like the last thing in my mind is hydration level and headache in the morning. I just don't think about that. So I have to deal with that beforehand. And maybe you don't get headaches in the morning. I hope you don't. And I don't have very many of them. I usually train in the daytime. And in the daytime of training, I have plenty of time to rehydrate. But you do roll better. You train better. You probably get injured less if you're on the mats and hydrated when you get there. It's a big tip. Your mind will be in the game better as well. Do you have a topic I should cover in the future? Send it to BjjBrick@gmail.com. Be happy to add it to the queue. BjjBrick is Patreon supported, but those are just the full episodes, not these quick episodes. These are on the house. If you have something to add about hydration and getting to the mats hydrated, maybe a story about you hiking and being dehydrated, all that would be interesting. Add it to our post of this episode on Facebook. Until next time, stay sweaty, my friends.